Good morning to all of you. I hope now it is audible to all. We can start the discussion. First, from 53rd GST Council meeting updates, and then we can have the normal Q&A session as we are having. Let me start one by one. It will take some time, but yes, we need to understand. There is a various changes in the rate that regarding the uniform rate of the IGST will apply on the import of the part, component testing equipment, tool and toolkit of the aircraft, irrespective of the HS classifications, to provide a fill up to the MRO activity subject to the specified conditions. All milk cane will attract 12% GST. Carton box ka rate has been reduced from 18 to 12. All solar cookers 12%. Polytely keeping machinery attracting 12%. So likewise, we will discuss other miscellaneous changes. Now, what is with respect to services? Exempt the services provided by Indian Railway to the general public, namely sale of the platform ticket, facility of the returning room, etc. And they will give the regularize the past period to exempt the services on the SPV to the Indian Railway by way of the allowing Indian Railway to use infrastructure built up and owned by the SPV. Then to create a specific entry. That is very important for all of us because there was big confusion whether hostel will be treated as hotel or it will be treated as residential accommodation. Because if it is will be treated as hotels, then I can say it will be taxable even on single rupee. And if it is treated as residential accommodation, then we know that it is exempted irrespective of any amount. Now, put bar on the litigation, we can welcome this particular decision that 20,000 per month it would be exempted irrespective of not irrespective of this exemption would be applicable for a minimum if we are staying for a minimum period of 90 days. Okay. Now we move to the other changes related to co-insurance premium, a portion by the lead insurer to the co-insurer for the supply of the insurance service by lead and co-insurer to the insured in the consignment agreement may be declared as no supply. यहाँ पर काफी बड़ा डाउट होता था what was the problem? Because the problem that because one insurance company is being apportioning, then do they need to pay the GST on that amount? That was the problem because it is apportionment. So the question is being asked whether this income received by the co-insurer from the lead insurer, then will it be taxable? What is the nature of the treatment? That was not clarified, and now finally it is being be added in the schedule 3, and we all know what is the schedule 3. Can anybody tell me in the chat what is the schedule 3? क्या कोई मुझे बता सकता है schedule 3 क्या है? Can anybody tell me what is the schedule 3? Schedule 3 is supply of the goods or services or both, which are neither supply of the goods or services. It means the negative list. It means the transaction on which there will be no GST. Transaction of the ceding commission, reinsurance commission between insurer and reinsurance may be declared as no supply. एक बात आप हमेशा ध्यान रखना, please make a note. Sometime the word no supply is being used in the GST law. Correspondingly, you will not find any definition. For example, if you go to the table 5F of the GSTR 9, it uses the word no supply. What is the meaning of no supply? Then you may use this particular type of the lines multiple times. They are using the word no supply in relation to Schedule 3. So what is the no supply? No supply means nothing but the Schedule 3 supply. Okay. GST liability on the reinsurance service of the specified insurance scheme covered by the serial number 35 and 36 may be regularized on as is basis. So you need to refer the 35, 36. So because they are the serial number of exemption notifications, so some short of the exemptions are there that will be regularized for this period. The GST liability on the reinsurance service for which the total premium is paid by the government that are covered under serial number 14, again regularization. To issue the clarification that retrosection of the reinsurance and therefore eligible for exemptions. To issue the clarification that RERA are exempt from GST. RERA are exempt from GST. This is a big relief to the all real estate sector, because in the field they were talking about RCM. They were talking about if the certificate of the if the permission has been taken from the RERA, then it is nothing but the supply by the government, and therefore it is covered under reverse charge. After lot of litigation, the finally it has been concluded that this has been exempted in the serial number 4. Then issue the clarification whether sharing of the incentive by the acquiring company with other stakeholder, where the sharing of the such incentive is clearly defined and incentive of the rupee and low value is decided in the proportion and manner by NPCI in consultation with the bank, is not taxable. For example, let's say I'm using the Bhim UPI, I'm making any payment, then some amount is credited back to me. Such type of the incentive, because I'm using the RuPay debit card or the Bhim UPI, will it be taxable? The answer would be no, it is not taxable. So I can say this is the excellent relief of this particular 53rd GST Council is really salutable and really welcome relaxation to the trade. They are saying for the initial year 73 demand for 1718, 1819 and 1920. If you pay the full tax by this date 31st March, no waiver do not cover the demand of erroneous refund, and there is no interest, no penalty. I can say that sometime the relaxation are being given for the penalty, but full waiver of the interest was never ever granted. So it is a welcome, and you all have to check your all 73, 74. Make sure that you will deposit everything by this date. And to implement this, GST Council has recommended the insertion of the 128 capital A of the CGST Act, reduction of the central government litigation by fixing the monetary limit. Now, C state when we can approach if it is having the tax component of 20 lakh, 1 crore for the High Court and 2 crore for the Supreme Court. Amendment in the appeal section, there is an upper cap of 25 crore, first level of appeal. Now it has been reduced to 20 crore. And second appeal, the appeal to the tribunal, which was 20%, now they are saying additional 10%. It means 10% you have deposited at first level, 10% you have to deposit additionally at second level. It is not 20% additionally. That upper cap which was 50 crore and it has been reduced to 20 crore. Now again, sir, this is only for 73 notice, right? The Nilesh ji absolutely saying we have to wait for the like a relaxation. What they are saying, what could be the relaxation demanded, aimed, etc. We have to wait for the notification. Whatever the language is being used in the notification, we can because sometimes the language of the press release is not exactly the law language. Exactly the law language. So sometimes there may be the difference. So just we have to wait for some time, some days, couple of days, the notices, the notifications circular, etc. will be issued. Then we can further analyze all these. ENA, very, I can say the approach being adopted by the central government in this regard is a cooperative federalism. ENA were be taxable. ENA was taxable in the GST. There is no ambiguity. I think there was an Allahabad High Court judgment also that ENA was come into the ambit of the GST, but they have foregone the right to levy the GST. Central government has foregone the right to levy the GST. They are saying amend the GST law to exclude the ratified split ENA from the scope of the GST. So basically, they will change the charging section 9(1), and from that they will exclude the ENA. A reduction in the rate of the TCS, that is also again good. If we are making the supply through Zomato, then the TCS would be applicable. Is it correct sentence? मैं repeat करता हूँ. If I am making the supply of the restaurant services through Zomato, then Zomato will collect the TCS at the rate of 1%. Is it correct or it is incorrect? Please confirm that if I am making the supply of restaurant services through Zomato, then Zomato will collect the TCS. Is it a correct statement or not? Is it a correct statement or not? Not correct. Why not correct? Why not correct? Because we know the 9 subsection 5 and section 52 are mutually exclusive. Mutually exclusive because it is covered in the 9 subsection 5. Restaurant services through Zomato, Swiggy, e-commerce operator are covered in the 9 subsection 5. And if something is covered in the 9 subsection 5, it is not applicable. TCS is not applicable. Absolutely correct. All the participants. Thank you. Then they are saying the GST Council recommend amending the section 112, allow the 3-month period for filing the appeal to the tribunal will be started from the date when the government will notified by the government in respect of appeal revisionary order passed before the said notification. This will give the sufficient time the taxpayer to file the appeal before the appellate tribunal in all the preceding pending cases. Again, this was the relaxation which trade were never ever having the expectation. And after the Kerala High Court judgment, if I'm not wrong, that Kerala High Court judgment, probably they have considered this, and it is really superb decision, I can say, because initial days we all were new. Then we were not aware about the relaxation. We might not aware about the last day to claim the ITC. They are saying GST Council recommended that time limit to avail the ITC in respect of invoice or debit note to any returns filed up to November 21 for all the 4 financial year. It is not like November of next year. No. अगर 18-19 का भी कोई ITC वो आपने नवंबर 21 तक ले लिया तो मतलब you are taking the ITC validly. It is not time bound. For the same, the requisite amendment will be made in the 16.4 retrospectively. And then GST Council recommend the retrospective amendment to be made effective from July 2017 to conditionally relax the 16.4 in case when the return for the period from the date of cancellation till the revocation are filed by the registered person within 30 days of the order of revocation. अगर आप provision read करेंगे, see why they've given 30 days, because there was some gap between the between the language which is written after revocation. You have to file the return within 30 days. Then there was an interpretation. If law allow me to file the return within 30 days, then first point, there has to be no late fees, And second point, all the ITC which has been taken should be valid. Probably by reason of that language, this particular amendment was brought into the picture. Then GSTR 4 ka due date is being extended from 30th April to 30th June. That is okay because it's an yearly return. Again, the third welcome change. If you have the amount in the cash ledger only, you have not set off, but it is lying in the cash ledger. It's still that is okay, no problem, no interest, provided same has been debited while filing the GSTR 3B. Section 11A, granting the power not to recover the duties as a result of general practice under the CGST Act. So GST Council recommend the insertion of Section 11 to give the power to the government on the recommendation of the council to allow the regularization of non-levy, short levy, where tax was being short paid, not paid due to the common trade practice. So this was, I think, similar to the pre-GST regime. There was some sort of section was there in the excise. So they have borrowed the concept from that and they have given the power. So now suppose, for example, I feel that let's say there is a practice which is being adopted by one sector. Let me take an example of tour and travel sector. They are adopting. They are all using the margin concept, but actually they are not. It is not the margin because they are never disclosing the profit. Still they are charging the GST only on the margin. So probably they will come some relaxation by using this section 11A. A refund of additional IGST paid on account of the upward revision on the price of the goods subsequent to the export. That was again the big problem, that if the price has been escalated, then can I take the refund of IGST? Council has given the direction to prescribe the mechanism. So correspondingly, there will be the amendment in the law as well as amendment in the GSTN portal so that functionality can be undertaken. Clarification regarding the valuation of import of service by a related person where recipient is eligible for full ITC. Again, I can say they have adopted the concept of 28 sub rule 1, and you remember that circular was issued which is being saying, if I'm not wrong, circular 199, which is being saying if you have declared the nil value, if you have not raised the invoice, it means you have declared the nil value. Nil value will be deemed to be the open market value. So for example, I am taking the, let's say you recall the Supreme Court judgment. You recall the judgment of the Supreme Court in case of the reverse charge. Correct? That was a northern operating. That was a big problem, that will it be import or service or not. So even though if it is import or service, but if I'm able to take ITC, I have not declared the value, it will be deemed that I have nil value is being declared, and that will be considered as open market value. Big relaxation, big relief to all these litigation. I can say this particular meeting, 53rd GST Council has meeting, given the lot of support to the trade and reduce the litigation a lot. Clarification regarding availment of ITC on ducts, manholes used in the network of the optic fiber cables. Again, they have given the clarification that POS for custodian service provided by the bank will not be covered in 13.8b, 13.8a. You remember section 13 subsection 8, which talks about if the service has been given by the bank to the other than account holder, okay, then the location of the bank will be the place of supply. So in all these cases, there will be unnecessary litigation. To put end to such litigation, they are saying if the services provided, custodial services provided by the bank, it will be determined according to the general clause. Corporate guarantee ka clarification, they are saying 28.2. With effect from 26 October 23, issuance of the circular to clarify the various issue regarding the valuation of the service for providing the bank guarantee between related parties. So we have to wait for circular, but all clarification to be given by them, we have to wait. Clarification regarding 16.4 in respect to the invoice issued in RCM. The council has recommended to clarify in case of the supply received from unregistered supplier where tax is to be paid under RCM, invoice is to be issued by the recipient. the relevant financial year to calculate the time limit is the financial year in which invoice is to be issued by the recipient. Big clarification. Always there was a doubt. Can I take the ITC? Will it be time barred, etc.? Then we were interpreting 16.4, 16.1, Rule 36.1, etc. Multiple things we were discussing, and we were always suggesting that whenever you are paying the tax, let's say after 4 years, 3 years, please make the self invoice having that date only, because we were of the understanding, or we were of the opinion, that the 36.1 is creating the ITC ka eligibility only when we are making the payment. And if you will create the self invoice ka date in the current date on which you are making the payment, so it means 16.4 will be applicable, will consider the ITC of that year, which can be claimed till next year, November. So great, it has been clarified. So there will be the multiple circular will be issued on taxability of the reimbursement, clarification on reversal of ITC in respect to the premium of the LIC, which is not included in the taxable value, Rule 32, Sub Rule 4. What is that? The problem is Rule 32, Sub Rule 4, which talks about the value is like 25%, like 12.5%, like 10%. There is concept of the margin method. So suppose if the LIC is paying the tax on 25% of the first year premium, which comes to effective tax rate as 4.5%. Does it mean they have to reverse the ITC to the extent of 75%? Do they need to reversal common ITC or not? Whether Rule 40 to 43 would be applicable on such or not? That was the discussion which was in debate in the trade. Finally, once circular will be issued, we will be able to understand. But even if I feel that no reversal would be applicable, even in the case when the margin method is adopted. Clarification on the taxability of recurrent salvage value in the case of motor insurance claim, clarification in respect of the warranty, extended warranty, clarification ITC in respect of insurance company in case of the reimbursement mode of, clarification on the taxability of the loan granted between group company, etc., time of the supply on annuity payment under HAM project. So that was again, I can say, big problem. What was the problem? That HAM project, so which were working on annuity concept. So road construction project, NHI giving the road construction project, that HAM is a model, various model are being operated in that industries. So there was a problem. Will it be treated as advance? What will be the time of supply? Will it be treated as continuous supply the service, taxable at the time of advance or not? Multiple issues were there. Crores of crore demand has already been raised by the DGGI, by the multiple authorities. Now we need to see what would be the clarification. Similarly, clarification for POS to unregistered when the delivery address is different from the billing address. I think this clarification would be for section 10, subsection 1, clause CA. Why? Because that was the one problem I feel. Let's say I am having one Amazon account at Delhi, and I have given some order and want the delivery at my, let's say, Rajasthan. The problem is the bill will be in my name and ship to will be the Rajasthan. What would be the place of supply? If I read the language of 10.1 CA, it says that billing location will be the POS. And 10.1 CA is overriding section 10 subsection 1 clause A and the clause C. It is not overriding the clause B. What is the clause B? Bill to ship to model. And in case of the bill to ship to model, what is the place of the supply? Billing location. That was the problem. But problem is, in this case, the goods were consumed at delivery location only. That was the problem. Probably considering that, clarification will be issued. Clarification on the evidence by the supplier for compliance with the condition 15.3b2. That was again the problem. What was the problem? The problem of the 15 subsection 3 clause B subclause 2, which was talking about that the post supply discount, if you like to give the GST credit note, 3 condition has to be satisfied. Can anybody tell me what is the 3 condition? Question का answer दीजिए please. Kindly give me the answer that we all know that for post supply discount, we all know that post supply discount, there are the 2, 3 conditions. If these conditions are satisfied, then only we can give the GST credit note. Otherwise, we cannot issue the GST credit note. We compulsory have to issue the financial credit note. What was the problem? Loss of the GST. There was one condition which is not possible to comply. But before that, I request everyone to give me the answer. Before that, I request everyone to give me the answer. What is the condition? Any 1 or 2 condition would be. Raghu sir, I fully agree that 16.4 ka damage has been already happened to a lot of the people and yet to happen for multiple people. Various demand has been raised in current date also. So again, the problem is if the demand is pending, then only we can take the advantage. If something is being settled, paid, everything, you can't do anything. What about the taxpayer who has paid the taxes? See, we all know, Srinivasan sir, that whatever the demand which is being settled prior to before any amnesty, before any changes, then they will never give the refund. So that was the problem. Ashwin Thakkarji, as per the DRC 7 tax payable rupees 10,000 CGST. If appeal, a payment 10% required to pay, which at C plus S jurisdiction is CGST, both T10, S10. Absolutely correct. We all know that according to 16 subsection 2, according to section 16 subsection 2, 15 subsection 3 clause B subclause 2, which talks about that there are the 3 condition. Actually there are 2 clause only, but I talk about the 3 condition. Condition number 1, that if there has to be the agreement before the supply, then it should be linked to the relevant invoices. No problem. The third condition, that ITC has been reversed by the recipient. That is creating the problem in the trade. What was the problem? Because suppose, let's say I am a Maruti Industries Limited. I have the lakhs of dealer. How can I ensure that ITC has been reversed by the recipient? I won't be able to understand, or I won't be able to identify because the GST portal is not in such a manner. So probably they will give the clarification. So if there is any demand is being raised on the basis of the 15.3b2, where you have to prove that ITC has been reversed by the recipient, then what would be the relaxation mechanism? So probably we can say that it might be they can bring the effect of the CS certificate, etc. Clarification on the special procedure, again circular will be issued. Transitional credit section on retrospectively one, there was a lot of amendment. Okay. So the GST Council recommend the new GSTR 1A. What is the GSTR 1A? Oh my God. It means now the government is thinking to completely lock the GSTR 3B. It appears that in order to lock the GSTR 3B, and I have furnished the GSTR1 by which the liability is auto-populated in 3B, and let's say there is any mistake, what to do? For that, they have bring the GSTR1A. So once the form would be issued, once the relevant amendment would be there in the law, we would be able to understand more. But it appears that for a current tax period, if there is any changes, you can use the GSTR1A so that you can pay the correct tax liability in the GSTR3B, but the liability would be locked. The council recommended 9(9)A may be exempted having same turnover. 2 crore tak hai, so 9A and 9 is exempted. Amendment was recommended 122 subsection 1B. What was that amendment? Penalty on the e-commerce operator. Penalty in the e-commerce operator. So we all know that particular particular supplier can make the supply through unregistered supplier can make the supply through e-commerce operator, but for that e-commerce operator has to ensure that they are not crossing the threshold limit. Multiple things has been compliance has been ensured, has been put on the soldier of a particular e-commerce operator. They have to ensure that all the things has been complied with. Now they are saying as to clarify that the penal provision is applicable for ECO who are required to collect TCS and not for other ECO. Other ECO means 95 ECO. The council recommend amendment in the rule 142 and issuance of the circular to prescribe the mechanism of an amount paid in respect of the demand through DRC 03 against the amount paid as a pre-deposit for filing the appeal. Believe me, friends, this council, this particular provision has lot made amendment. We have to read the law once again. It appears that we have to read the law once again. Rollout of the biometric Aadhaar for all India basis, amendment in section 73-74, insertion of 74A to provide the common time limit for demand notice and order. Oh my God. It means earlier they were giving the benefit to the non-fraud case and they are treating the same as a penal time, extended time limit has been given to the 74 cases. Now both will be replaced with 74A. Presently, there is a different time limit. So now GST Council recommended for a common time limit for financial year 24-25 months. We have to see. And the time limit to avail the benefit of reducing the penalty, you know that 15%, 25%, 10%, etc. that has been increased from 30 to 60 days. So probably it will be some relaxation. GST Appellate Tribunal has also recommended the sunset of the 1425 for the anti-profiteering provisions. Amendment in section 16 of IGST Act, refund, and 54 to curtail the refund where the export duty is payable. So it means they like to make the amendment in the section 54. If you go to the section 54 subsection 3, there is three proviso. One proviso talks about if the goods are subject to export duty, you cannot take the refund of ITC, meaning thereby the restriction is only for the refund of ITC. But if I have paid the IGST, there is no restriction. Now it appears they could like to bring this type of the restriction. So we have to wait for the amendment, and once the amendment will be incorporated in the law, then we can understand. The threshold for reporting B2C interstate supply invoice wise in table 5 was reduced to 1 lakh rupees. Currently, we are reporting if B2C large inter and wherein the meaning of the large is more than 2.5 lakh. Now it will be reduced to 1 lakh. GSTR 7, we all know that is to be filed for the TDS parties, government who are liable to deduct the TDS. It's to be filed every month, irrespective whether any tax has been deducted or not. So for the time being, it was appearing that GSTR 9 will be applicable only when there is a TDS. If there is no TDS, it means no GSTR 7. Now they are saying you need to file the NIL 7. So these all are the changes. Lot of changes has been made in the law. Circular clarification. We need to understand in detail one by one whenever all the amendment will come into the market by way of notification or circular, etc. Now we can start our any question answer. If you have any question answer, we can definitely discuss. I hope you all have benefited. And one more thing I like to bring to your kind notice that from next month onwards, to increase the benefit in terms of the knowledge without paying any charges, I like to bring the one exams on monthly basis. You will scan the barcode and you are able to give the exams. I will prepare the exams, maybe 20, 15, 20, some MCQ questions. That question will be very, very tricky question. Some are normal questions, some are medium question. Means by combination, I will prepare the exam. I would ensure that kindly give the exam. You will definitely benefit it by all such. ठीक है. So from next month, I will start. The IT team is working on that, and you, even if you are member or not member, doesn't matter. You can appear the exams once in a month. And you all know that we educating are running the GST membership. So if you are already member, uh, you know all the facility, but otherwise you may just quickly give me 1 minute. You may go to the website www.educating, and you can see the membership plan. In the case of the GST membership, we are running the platinum, gold, silver. In the PF, we are only resolving the question answer, and income tax, we are only resolving the question answer. We are running the three types of the membership: gold, platinum, and silver in the GST. In the basic silver, we are only supporting Q&A. Whatever you ask the question, we will give the reply. And in the platinum and in the gold, we are handling the 5 notices per annum also. GST notice, review of the draft reply, etc. And in the platinum, my 65-hour GST certificate course is being added in the login. So these type of the 3 memberships. For further detail, you are requested to call to my team. You can have the contact number. So to inquire about more about the membership, and let me share that particular link in the chat of YouTube. Okay. So now let me start the Q&A. Whatever you are the question, we will spend 10-15 minutes to close the question. Sanjay ji, credit against such reversal can be availed by credit note issuer. So it is not the credit. Basically, against such reversal on discount can be availed by the credit note issuer. It is the it will not be the ITC, right? If I am issuing the credit note, so I will reduce my output tax liability. So the answer would be yes. I can definitely reduce my output tax liability. Joginder Batraji, sir, resort arranging taxi from airport to resort from taxi operator at airport and charging taxi from customer, taxi operators, and whether RCM is applicable on taxi. 996412. So there's a difference between rent-a-cab services, and there's a difference between. So Jogendraji, I will give the answer by giving the reference of the circular. I would request please paste the question in the YouTube, but my answer would be no, it is not applicable. It is not applicable, but I will give my detailed reply on the comment section. You post your question once this video will be uploaded. I will give the answer, but prima facie immediate answer would be no, it is not applicable. And again, I request all the members, I hope you have liked the discussion. If you like the discussion, please click on the like button and also click on the subscribe button to have the means motivation to all the educating team. No loss to the Maruti if the tax is paid by the customer, as the reversing the ITC will entail liability to the customer. No loss to the Maruti if the tax is paid by the consumer, rather reversing the ITC will entail. Why the interest ka liability? Nilesh, I feel that if the date of the credit note is, let's say, today, pertaining to the last year, if I'm issuing the credit note to you, then you need to reverse ITC, right? Then there is no question of I think interest part. Point number 1. Point number 2, how you will pay the liability, because we know that now you know that 3B liability would be completely logged. You can't make any editing. So the credit note which I have issued, probably you will not report as an outward supply. You will not report as B2B, correct? Then in that case, if you will not add in the 1, how you will add in the 3B? It cannot be added. And if you will add in the 1, and if I will issue the credit note, now we know the credit note is reducing the ITC automatically. So I think there may be the problem. So after that circular, which is obviously on the Maruti, there is no problem. And if the recipient is reversing the ITC, then there is also no problem. Notice received against 16.4. Yes, 100%. 100%, sir. You can go for this. You are very, for that part, I can say if you have not paid the demand, it will definitely help you. Rakesh ji, interest on 1718 demanded by SCN after a Supreme Court judgment, credit of Senate allowed current FM relief exempt interest. राकेश जी, आपका क्वेश्चन मुझे समझ में नहीं आया, एक बार। अच्छा, देखो, अगर राकेश जी आप पुराना कोई सेटल्ड केस की बात करें, उसमें तो कुछ भी नहीं हो सकता। वट एवर इट इज बीइंग सेटल्ड, यू कांट डू एनीथिंग. Means government will not give the refund. If it is pending, then I can say that it will be given. You will get the relaxation of interest, but also we have to see the language of the notification, because sometimes the legal language of the notification is also need to be interpreted. It is not so easy. तो वो क्या रिलैक्सेशन देते हैं, क्या लैंग्वेज यूज करते हैं, वी ऑल हैव टू रीड. Datta ji, sir, what are the steps that have been taken while applying the new registration biometric, whether will continue everywhere and whether it is will beneficial to taxpayer? देखो, beneficial तो taxpayer को ज्यादा नहीं होगा. It will create the slight hurdle, but ये जो fake invoicing है, ये जो रैकेट है, इसमें नंबर ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन में रिडक्शन हो जाएगा. क्यों? क्योंकि नॉर्मली जो फेक रैकेट है, दे विल नॉट गो फॉर टेकिंग द रजिस्ट्रेशन बायोमेट्रिकली. ये फेज्ड मैनर में स्टार्ट होगा. जैसे अभी पुडुचेरी की बात करूं, आई थिंक पहला एक पुडुचेरी में स्टार्ट हुआ, एक और कहीं स्टार्ट हुआ, चंडीगढ़ में स्टार्ट कहीं हुआ था. सो आई कैन से द सेम कॉन्सेप्ट वुड बी एप्लीकेबल, बट वो क्या प्रोसेस होगा, वी हैव टू वेट फॉर सम टाइम. द प्रोसेस वुड बी इंटीमेटेड बाय द GST website or on the GST website or GST website. क्या प्रोसेस रहेगा? If the GST is to be reversed on the discount credit, then will it? सर अगेन, अगर मैं मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि सर ये पार्ट आपका क्रेडिट GST टू बी रिवर्स डिस्काउंट क्रेडिट CN, देन विल इट? नहीं संजय जी, देन मतलब ITC में तो कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं आएगा सप्लायर के. वी हैव संजय जी बी एलिजिबल फॉर ITC. फॉर ITC का क्वेश्चन नहीं आएगा संजय जी. अभी भी मैं नहीं समझ पा रहा हूँ रिवर्सल ऑफ टैक्स लाइबिलिटी, हाउ इट कैन बी लिंक टू माई ITC. अगर मैंने आपको कोई लाइबिलिटी, देखो क्रेडिट नोट 4 सर्कमस्टांसेस में दे सकता हूँ. गुड्स रिटर्न हो गया, गुड्स और सर्विस फाउंड टू बी डेफिसिट है, या टैक्सेबल वैल्यू ज्यादा या टैक्स, तो मेरा उसका ITC के साथ तो कोई लिंक ही नहीं है ना. Exam syllabus should be given first, else GST is very, very long. Thank you, Krishna sir. I will definitely talk about, let's say, first exams would be on practical return filing, 3B and GSTR1. First exams, which I will take for all the all the participants anywhere. It's free of cost. Anyone can give the exams. I will give the barcode. The first exams, which I will start in the month of the July, that will be on the practical return filing, GSTR3B and GSTR1, only 2 chapter. ठीक है, तो आप प्रिपेयर कर लीजिएगा एंड मेक श्योर दैट यू विल गिव द एग्जाम्स एंड देन चेक योर मींस कि आप कितना मतलब आप अपना अंडरस्टैंडिंग और आप अपनी अंडरस्टैंडिंग को मेरे मतलब मेरे एग्जाम के साथ मैच करके देख सकते हैं, एंड वी कैन डिस्कस फर्दर ऑन द लाइव डिस्कशन दैट विल बी अवेलेबल टू ऑल. Now on the basis of the, yes, I told you, Nilesh ji, Arun ji leaving the session right now. Thank you sir, thank you for joining. What are the amendment proposed for the hostel accommodation? Up to 20,000 will be exempted. 20,000 will be exempted. Sir, can GST authority issue 2-time DRC, one for the same issue for the same financial? Possible है अगर matter different है, underlying matter different है तो possible है. My question is, if the recipient have to reverse the GST, then the supplier who issue the discounted credit note can avail the ITC on the reversal of ITC. But हाँ हाँ मिल जाएगा, और it will be नहीं मिल जाएगा. So I request everyone, please click on the like button. Also click on the subscribe button. We are bringing the new facility of the exams, the syllabus which Krishna sir has suggested. I told you in the advance only, prepare the GSTR3B written and GSTR1 written in detail, and I will take the exam in the first week of the July or second, मतलब first week of the July में मैं exam लूंगा आपसे. आप exam दे सकते हैं online and you can see the result. Everything you can see. It is free of cost, available to all. So make sure that you can share to all the people. You have the knowledge. It will definitely improve the knowledge. Last 2-3 questions, then we can wind up our discussion. Praveen Solanki ji, we have taken the ITC work contract service, but book in expenses not capitalization. Can department reverse the ITC? नहीं कर सकता. It is common misunderstood, which I also had. Credit note only you can adjust in future sales. You won't get ITC. अच्छा, तो सही है ना. Same understanding. It is not misunderstanding. It is correct understanding. So if I have issued the credit note, I can reduce my liability. I cannot add in my ITC. I have paid the taxes already. If I'm issuing the credit note, I can reduce my tax liability of current tax period onward. If the current tax liability is not sufficient, then I will carry forward and adjust in the subsequent month. Till the time there is no facility for accepting the negative amount in the table 3.1, तब तक हमें ये प्रॉब्लम रहेगी until the time. And once देखो आना तो ही है, that is 100% sure that negative liability will definitely come in 3B. I feel that after GSTR 1 and 1A, now they will accept the negative liability. Raghuji, so therefore I feel that they will allow us now. We can adjust, but till that time we have to carry forward only. First week you are having offline class. Yes. Thank you, sir. In the first week of July, 6th and 7th July, we are IMBES basically taking the first time face-to-face class in Delhi. If you are from Delhi or like to take the class face-to-face batch, it is scrutiny of returns and relevant notices on the scrutiny of return. I will discuss the 13B99C along with practical case study. Plus, I will also take the notices issued based on the GST returns interlinking, and I will prepare some of the draft reply to you for helping in terms of the litigation. And we will also cover whatever the changes are there, like GSTR 1A, etc., that we will cover in the class. It will be the face-to-face batch in Delhi. And if you are interested, 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, if you are interested, you can join our batch. And it is first batch which I am conducting face-to-face. So you can visit our website, do the inquiry about the same. When the next live batch is starting, it will be after August. Probably it will be August only. It will be in the August only. नीलेश पांडे जी 73 का नोटिस का टैक्स पे कर दिया, बट इंटरेस्ट का डिमांड ऑर्डर आ गया. इंटरेस्ट पे करना होगा या नहीं? अब नहीं पे करना होगा. आफ्टर दिस रिलैक्सेशन यू आर नॉट रिक्वायर्ड टू पे इंटरेस्ट. श्रीनिवासन सर, हॉस्टल अकोमोडेशन इज विल क्रिएट अगेन लिटिगेशन. यस, 90 डेज का तो देखो देना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो प्रॉब्लम क्या है, समटाइम इट मे बी मिसयूज्ड. 73 का नोटिस पे. यस, व्हेन द नेक्स्ट बैच, मेरा जो नेक्स्ट लाइव जीएसटी सर्टिफिकेट कोर्स है, दैट विल बी स्टार्टेड इन द मंथ ऑफ अगस्त. तब तक तो हमारे ये सारे सेटल्ड हो जाएंगे. नो मैटर इज नॉट डिफरेंट. ITC availed on the retrospective cancellation registration. Vendor is also. No matter is not different. Okay. ITC availed on the retrospective cancelled registration. Vendor is also same in both DRC 11. We have replied on this. We have gone for appeal. ठीक है ना? Mehul Jain ji, we will definitely take the first based on the response of the participant, the scrutiny of written batch. जो भी participant का जैसा response रहेगा, based on that we will definitely conduct the class in the other location also. But first batch we are starting in Delhi location. So if you are having interest or if you are having any reference like to join the batch, definitely inquire from our website www.educating.com. So last question for the day. Department issuing SCN section 73. We have taken ITC on the work contract service. Issue करने दीजिए, आप appeal file करिए. Let them issue the notice. Let them whatever the issue. You need to file the appeal, or first you need to get the reply and then file the appeal. And Solanki ji, I think you are educating member only. अगर आप educating member है तो आप हमें notice share कीजिए. तो we will support that क्या चीज आप add कर सकते हैं additionally, which will help you in terms of the litigations. Not capitalization. Again, हाँ correct. आपने capitalize नहीं किया तो 17 subsection 5 clause C और clause D में जो block है, जो explanation है, which talks about to the extent of capitalization will not be applicable. So if you have not done the capitalization, the reversal or the blockage will not come into the picture, right? तो आप नोटिस शेयर कीजिए, आप अपने हिसाब से रिप्लाई बना दीजिए. आई विल रिव्यू एंड मेक श्योर दैट कि जो भी ये पार्ट आप ऐड कर सकते हैं, दैट विल बी एडेड. So by this, we have completed our today discussion. And thank you very much for joining the live discussion. If you click, if you have increased your knowledge by this live discussion, and if you like the discussion, please click on the like button and also click on the subscribe button. Share with the maximum people you can. And now we are starting the exams also monthly basis to improve the knowledge without any charges. So thank you very much. Goodbye to all of you. We'll meet on the next Sunday, probably at the same time. Goodbye.